Finding your wedding dress, what a moment. But that journey to looking absolutely flawless doesn't stop when you say yes to the dress. Nope. We're about to dive into the world of alterations. This is that final, crucial step that takes a beautiful gown and makes it your perfect dress. So here's the question on every bride's mind. You found the one, it's gorgeous, but is it going to fit you like a glove? Well, the answer is that almost every single gown, and I mean it, needs some kind of tailoring to feel like it was made just for you. That's not just normal, it's totally expected. And that is exactly what we're here to do today. We are going to break down the entire process into a super clear, manageable timeline. The goal? For you to walk down that aisle feeling incredible, confident, and completely stress-free about your gown. Okay, so where do we even begin? Well, there's one simple rule that really sets the stage for a smooth, easy alteration process. You can think of this as your starting point for, well, everything. And here it is, 2 to 3 months. That's it. That is the magic window before your wedding day to get that very first fitting on the books. It's not too early, and it's definitely not too late. It's the sweet spot.
And there's a really important reason for this timing. Starting early gives both you and your seamstress a comfortable buffer zone. It means you can get through every single step without feeling rushed or frantic. This is all about preventing any of that last-minute panic.
Now that we've got our big picture timeline, let's get into the nitty-gritty. What actually happens during those couple of months? The whole thing is usually broken down into 3 key fittings, and each one has its own specific job to do. Think of it like this. First, you and your seamstress create the vision. Then, you work on refining all the little details. And finally, you have that last look to confirm everything is absolute perfection. See, each step has a clear purpose on the path to that flawless fit. This chart really lays it all out for you. Your first fitting, that's 2 to 3 months out. This is the big one, where your seamstress looks at the whole picture, pins the hem, adjusts the bodice, and you two talk about your overall vision. Then, about a month before the wedding, you'll come back for round 2. You'll try on the dress with the first set of changes and really fine-tune the fit. Finally, just a week or 2 before the big day, you have your final check. This is for any tiny last-minute adjustments, and, super important, this is when you'll learn how to work the bustle on your dress. Of course, not every dress is the same, and neither is every bride. There are a few key things that can definitely impact that standard timeline, and it's just smart to know what they are ahead of time. The biggest factor, by far, is just how much work you're having done. A simple hem or taking in the straps, that might only take a few weeks, no problem. But if you're doing something more involved, like totally reworking a beaded bodice, adding custom sleeves, or really changing the neckline, you should plan on using that entire 2 to 3 month window. And beyond the type of work, a few other things can come into play. Delicate fabrics like lace or silk, well, they just require a more careful, time-consuming touch. Same goes for intricate beading or lots of complex layers of fabric. And don't forget about seasonality. Spring and summer are peak wedding season, which means seamstresses are way busier. So if your wedding is in those months, book those appointments as early as you possibly can. All right, so you've got the timeline down, you know the variables to look out for. Let's finish up with a super practical checklist of things you can do to make sure every single fitting is as productive and successful as possible. Okay, listen up, because what you bring to your fitting is just as important as the dress itself. You absolutely have to bring your wedding shoes. The heel height is everything for getting that hem length perfect. The same goes for your undergarments. They are the foundation of how the dress will fit. And bringing your veil or a belt is a great idea too, just so you and your seamstress can see the whole look come together. And finally, maybe the most important tip, communication is everything. Your seamstress is an expert, a total pro, but they can't read your mind. Be open about how you want to look and feel in your dress. If you have a specific idea for a little custom change, bring photos. And please, don't ever be afraid to ask questions. A good conversation is the secret ingredient to making sure the final dress is exactly what you've been dreaming of. So there you have it, your complete roadmap to a perfectly tailored wedding dress. By planning ahead, understanding how it all works, and clearly communicating your vision, you can make sure the journey to your flawless fit is just as joyful and exciting as finding the dress in the first place.